I received this story from a man who asked to remain anonymous. He says it happened 25 years ago, when he was just a boy, on what was supposed to be a simple family camping trip, one that would change his life forever. They were a family of 5, father, mother, older brother, sister, and the boy himself. They had been looking forward to this trip for months, packing tents, supplies, and enough food for a weekend away from the city. Their destination? It was a remote mountain trailhead, miles from the nearest town. A place with no cell service and no neighbors. At first, the trip felt like a dream, hiking through pine forest, collecting firewood, the smell of earth after the rain, the sound of a distant creek. But by the first night, things began to feel a little bit strange. They set up their tents near a small clearing. The boy remembers laying awake, listening to the sounds that didn't make any sense to him. Branches snapping far too precisely, like someone was stepping around the tent. A low whisper drifted through the trees. He thought it was the wind, but it sounded almost like words, muffled, just at the edge of hearing them. His older brother wandered off for a moment to explore and didn't return for an hour. When he came back, his shirt was torn, his pants ripped, and there were long scratches along his arms and legs. I just got lost, he said. But his eyes were wide, darting, like he'd seen something, and he couldn't name what it was. By morning time, everyone was on edge. The sister, while helping gather water, tripped on a jagged root, fell into a shallow creek. Her arms and legs were scraped and bleeding. She swore she felt a hand push her, but there was no one else around. The father, he just kind of shrugged it off, chalking it up to a little mistake in footing, maybe an accident, is what he liked to tell himself. Accidents happen, he said, but the mother wouldn't stop looking over her shoulder, muttering, "Something's here, I can feel it." The second day dragged on with tension thickening. Every rustle, every snap of a branch sent them jumping. Even small animals seemed to act strange. Birds fleeing silently, squirrels freezing in mid-step as if watching them. The boy remembers thinking, "We're not alone. We shouldn't be here." Night fell, and the second night was the worst. Around midnight, the tents began shaking violently. The father ran outside to see what was happening. When he returned, his face was bloodied, his shirt torn, arms bruised. He wouldn't say what had happened, only that something hit him and vanished before he could get a look. The mother tried to shield the children, but in the struggle, her arm was broken, and she was left bruised and bleeding as well. The boy was slammed against a tree, spinning, feeling his teeth rattle. He caught a fleeting glimpse of his older brother running towards the tree line, but this time he didn't come back. They searched frantically through the night, calling his name, scanning with flashlights, but it was as if the earth had just swallowed him up. The trees stood silent, the wind died down, and even the creek seemed to hush. When dawn finally came, battered and exhausted, the family stumbled down the mountain, bloodied and trembling. They searched the nearest town and called the authorities. Search parties combed the mountains for weeks. Helicopters, dogs, volunteers, but no trace of the older brother was ever found. No clothing, no footprints, nothing. The scars from that weekend were not just physical either. Every time the boy, now a grown man, thinks about that trip, he remembers the sounds of that night, the feeling of being watched, and the unanswerable question, what really happened to his brother. He says the family never returned to those mountains. The memories of those 2 nights remain vivid. The rustle of unseen things in the dark, the terror of helplessness, the horrifying sense that something not human was watching them. And the most terrifying part, there was no one else there. Yet whatever happened, whatever it was, it kept his brother. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. And if you have a story to share, email it to us at mindcodedean@gmail.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, comment. It really helps our channel grow, and it's completely free.